All right, y'all. It's me again, Mariah, here at one of my favorite places, which is really just to be amidst of nature. So beautiful, so beautiful. And it's beautiful out today. I'm thankful for that. So, I was inspired today to talk about something in particular, which is the value and power of having and utilizing support. And so, one of the things that I definitely want to mention is that oftentimes we grow up, especially us women folk, with the concept of the bestie, right? The bestie is kind of like the one all be all. They are there for us emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all of the above, which is a lot of pressure if you think about that, right? Just imagine if someone put that much pressure on us, one individual. It's a lot. And so at some point we grow up, we become adults, and we realize that we need more than just one person. And one person really can't be all of the things that we may need them to be. And so one of the things that I learned even in my personal journey, and I often talk about this in sessions with clients as well, which is having and utilizing support. Sometimes we will tell ourselves, especially when we are going through hard times and things like that, that we don't have support, right? And what I have come to realize, both personally and professionally, is that that's usually not always the case. And what I mean by that is sometimes we have a certain idea of what support looks like, right? And so if we stay with that concept, then we often miss out on opportunities where people may actually want to support us and may have even supported us, right? And so I'll give you an example. Sometimes support looks like resources, right? Resources such as therapy, right? And one of the things I'm a big advocate for, I try to keep resources on my website as well, is that therapy doesn't always cost money. Oftentimes there are many resources out there where therapy is free, right? And if you want to know more about that, definitely reach out, because there's a lot of free therapy resources out there, especially for Black women. Another resource might be for those of us who are believers, right? We heavily lean on our faith. Our faith, depending on how you think of it, is a resource. It's our support. It's what we lean on during hard times, right? Our relationship with God, depending on what you believe. That's a form of support, right? And so things like that sometimes gets overlooked. Even furthermore, talking about human people now, right? Sometimes we may have support systems that look like childcare. Maybe we have people in our life that we may not necessarily lean on emotionally. Maybe we won't tell them all of our life story and our deepest, darkest secrets, but maybe we have someone, in our community, or someone that we do trust with our children, which is a big deal, really big deal, especially because they care so much money, right? And so maybe we have a person or two that we actually trust enough with our children. That's a support. That's a resource, right? And then there's sometimes people we have in our life, maybe it's coworkers, right? Again, maybe we're not necessarily at the phase or stage where we're trusting them with our deepest, darkest secrets, but maybe that support looks like laughter. Being around someone who may be like-minded and you can just get a good laugh. Maybe vent a little bit about certain work situations that no one else understands but the people that actually work there, right? And so these are just some examples. And so one of the things that I really, really want to challenge you all, I had to challenge myself as well, right? Challenge you to think about support a little differently, right? Think about the people that are in your life. Think about the things you do have access to. Think about the resources that you do have. and ask yourself, is it really true that I don't have support? Or is it that maybe support, I didn't think of it in a particular way, or I did think of it in a particular way? Maybe I limited myself a bit, right? It's important for us to have support. It's one of the biggest reasons that I decided to start this channel in the first place, right? To have community, because it's so important. It's so important. And again, I'm going to emphasize, when it comes to healing, when it comes to dealing with the stresses of life, when it comes to coping with the different things that do happen to us in life, right? Realistically speaking, things will always be happening. You know, I was listening to something the other day, and it was just talking about how we're usually falling in 3 categories, right? We're either just coming out of something, going through something, or about to go through something, right? And so realistically speaking, there's always going to be something going on in our lives. And so the more that we can tap in to our resources, lean on our supports, and identify people who might actually be around that can help us in some way, shape, or form, then the better we are, the healthier we are, right? Usually the happier we are. That's what research shows. And so I hope that this in some way helps someone today, because at the end of the day, we need each other. Be well. See you soon.